ship.
That summer.
I don't understand why you and Dad keep making such a big deal about this.
No, you know why.
I will
Don't.
have the car back in a few hours.
And who said you could take it in the first place?
What do you think I'm gonna do? Like, steal the car and drive all the way out to Fairbanks?
No, don't get cute. Your father and I have every reason to be concerned about you. I mean, who's this guy you're meeting?
He's just an old friend from high school. It's not like that. He's just a friend. Like, you probably met him once or twice anyway. We were lab partners sophomore year. He's harmless. Look, I gotta go. I need you and Dad to trust me, okay?
Well, right now we don't trust you.
Digging! Oh, God, are you okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
You made a pain sound just then.
It's nothing.
I guess I don't know my own strength. I've been working out a lot lately, doing a lot of CrossFit. I'm not like full cult with it. I just have a friend who works at a place and he gets me in on this kind of an under the table sort of a deal. Okay, it's not like that. I just have to wait until after his boss leaves and then I can come in. There are no favors exchanged except once I did give him half my burrito because he said that he had skipped lunch and I am talking too much, aren't I?
A little bit. It's good to see you.
This is crazy. You never come back home.
Not for a while, no. I used to come back for Christmases, but then my dad got a timeshare.
Wait, how long has it been since we've seen each other? It couldn't have been graduation, was it?
I think it was the year after. Your sister had a New Year's Eve party. I remember someone got you a big old box of Cherry Mike's Hard Lemonade. You got a little sloppy.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I haven't thought about that in years. I remember puking in the driveway, then it froze, leaving this big red circle of shame for like 2 months.
At least you made it outside.
Yeah, I wish I could say my days of puking at parties were behind me, but sadly that isn't the case. Wait, why are you home?
It's a long story, family stuff.
I know what you mean. Lisa is just completely panicking over the wedding. I used to think those reality shows about brides going crazy were complete bullshit. Yeah, they're not. They're surprisingly accurate.
Yeah, I saw she was getting married. That's great, Tell her I said congrats or mazel tov or something.
You know my family's not Jewish, right?
I mean, neither am I, but you don't have to be Jewish to wish someone mazel tov. Mazel tov's for everybody.
God, you're so weird. I've missed you. Oh, this is a great idea coming out here. You don't get this in Los Angeles. Every nature hike within like an hour of the city is just so packed with people, you might as well be at the mall. It's not like that here. I can't believe it's been 10 years.
I know, it doesn't feel like any time at all.
Are you kidding me? It feels like it's been a lifetime. But this is better than a reunion. It's just us in the mountain.
Yeah.
What was that? Sounded like you were gonna say something.
Well, there's one more. Sorry, can you go back to standing normal for a second?
Why can't you talk to me like this?
I can, it's just a little weird. Do you remember Reed Rush?
Rushman? God, I've been trying to forget that man for years. What about him?
Well, I was at Cars last night buying supplies, and we kind of ran into each other in the parking lot.
And?
And he asked how long I was in town for and what I had planned, and eventually I mentioned that you and I were hiking.
Doggy,
and
you didn't.
he just seemed so sad.
Rushman's sad? What, did they cancel amateur night at the Alaskan Bush Company?
He wasn't acting sad, you know. When we were talking, he was his usual boisterous self, but I don't know, something about him seemed off, you know. At one point I looked into his shopping cart and all he had bought was a bunch of cheap vodka and frozen Totino's pizzas. I mean, he looked really lonely.
So you could take him out to dinner or buy him around. Like, this was supposed to be tranquil, damn it.
Hey, you should have seen how he perked up when I mentioned your name.
Yeah, of course he did. That's because he has been trying to sleep with me since junior high. I swear. Every time I'm back in town, I run into him, and every time he sizes me up like some cartoon wolf.
What if I tell him you have a boyfriend?
You think that'll work?
I could tell him you have a girlfriend.
Oh my God, that'll make it so much worse.
Oh, you're right. I'll be the first to admit, if you made a list of people from Chugakai who I'd want to spend an afternoon with, Rushman would probably not make the top 10.
He wouldn't make my top 100.
But, you know, people change. Maybe he's matured. Okay, think about it this way. If this were an actual reunion, there'd be half a dozen Rushmen. There'd be half a dozen Rushmen, and they'd all be getting goosed up on White Claws, trying to drag you on the dance floor so they could grind their Mossmos against you, all set to the musical stylings of Flow Rider featuring T-Pain. We're on a mountain. How online can you get?
You see, you phrase that as if it's a rhetorical question. At least he's punctual.
Chugiak?
He's not gonna make us do it, is he?
He definitely is.
I said Chugiak?
Mama Mustangs.
You can do better than that. Chugiak?
Mama Mustangs.
Good enough. Dougster?
Good to see you, Rushman.
Annabelle?
Quite the truck you got there.
Thanks, yeah. It's a 2017 Tundra. Got her for a song, you know. Had to buff out a few scratches, but it's fully loaded, leather interior, heated seats, 5.7 liter V8, towing capacity of 12,000 pounds. What are you driving?
I don't know, it's my mom's car. Usually I just take the bus.
Oh. Annabelle, you're looking as beautiful as ever.
It's not my name, but...
Are you glowing? I feel like you're glowing. It just must be the California...
She's got a boyfriend, you know. We were just talking about him is all. What did you say his name was? Alonzo?
Alonzo.
He's Italian.
Mazel.
Bit early, isn't it?
It's mountain time, baby. Mountain time. Cold?
Freezing.
This is gonna be fun.
So, we waiting on anyone else?
Nope, just us three.
Then let's get going. Is that what I think it is?
What?
Are you eating a Luna bar right now?
I'm hungry.
You know those are for women, right?
Says who?
It's in the name, Luna. Don't act like you don't know the well-known correlation between the moon and a woman's menstrual cycle.
I like the lemon zest, all right? Anyway, and are Luna bars just for women?
Yeah, I think it is absurd to gender anything this day and age, let alone a protein bar, but yeah, they're for women and it's a little weird you're eating one.
Okay, you know, I had an extra blueberry bliss in my bag I was gonna offer to one of you, but now nobody gets it.
So, Annabelle, how is Hollywood?
Again, not my name. LA is great. Yeah, it's great. Love it. People, the weather, great.
You still trying to do the whole acting thing?
Not trying, doing.
It's funny, I haven't seen you in anything, and you know, small town like this, local kid plays a corpse on CSI, they get a whole page in the Daily News.
Yeah, well, the things I'm doing are a little less mainstream.
Do you guys remember that girl, what's her name? Brittany something or other? She was a few years ahead of us. She got on this Netflix show about lady wrestlers. The write-up she got, you would have thought she won a Nobel Peace Prize or something. You should try to get on that lady wrestler show.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
What sort of roles have you been getting?
I mean, like I said, nothing you've probably heard of, just some web series that no one watches and, pilots that never got picked up.
But still, you're working. You know. Do you have an agent or whatever?
Yeah, I'm with an agency.
I'm really glad it worked out.
What do you mean?
Well, you hear so many stories about girls who move to the big city to try to make it as an actor, and it doesn't work out, so they fall in with a bad crowd and have to start dealing crack or working in porn or something. But it sounds like for you, it really worked out. I'm glad.
Yeah, me too.
Do you remember in Miss Cook's English class where instead of writing a paper on The Great Gatsby, you, me, and Jacob Scott talked her into letting us put on a play instead?
Oh my God, I do remember that. Oh, I played Daisy, of course. Jacob was Gatsby, and you were...
Tom Buchanan.
Yes.
I was awful. I mean, you were fantastic, as always.
Oh my God, that class probably hated us. How did we get away with that?
I think Miss Cook realized that letting us perform was easier than writing an actual syllabus.
Yeah, it's weird to think how much of our lives were shaped by teachers being lazy.
I don't remember Miss Cook.
Right, well, you weren't in honors classes.
No, just a regular one for us dummies.
So, Rushman, what have you been up to since Chugiak?
Oh, just hanging out, living life, partying.
No, I mean, like, where'd you go to college? What's your job? Kids?
Skipped college, did a few summers on the slope, coasted off that for a while. You guys remember my Uncle Theo? Big guy, real tall, lazy eye.
Sure.
Right, so Theo got me a job working in the warehouse at Northern Heating and Plumbing.
As in...
Northern Heating and Plumbing.
We're the cool dudes. That Northern Heating and Plumbing?
That's the one, yeah. So I worked my way up, and now for 6 years, I've been a full-time heating/plumbing repairman. I'm actually pretty good at it, which is crazy because I'm kind of dog shit at most things.
Well, but what do you want to do?
What do you mean, what do I want to do? That's what I do. That's my job. I'm one of the cool dudes.
What I think Annie means is, would you be fine doing that your whole life?
Why wouldn't I be?
You never wanted anything more?
Like what? To be like a stockbroker? I mean, sure, if somebody's hiring, I'll do it, but I think I'm probably better at fixing plumbing and heating fixtures.
Don't you ever get tired doing the same tasks over and over again? I work in IT, and believe me, there are days where my job gets so monotonous, I'm tempted to just chuck my ID badge in a Puget Sound and run off and join the Coast Guard or something.
Why the Coast Guard?
Because it's different than fixing computers.
They don't have IT people in the Coast Guard?
I'm not actually gonna join the Coast Guard. I just mean, sometimes you wanna try something completely new. What if one day you woke up and said, hey, forget plumbing and heating. I wanna go roast coffee beans.
Yeah, I'm not really a coffee guy, though.
It's not what
I'm more of a monster guy. Like, I know it's poison, but it gets me going.
Fucking rain, man. Isn't it supposed to be summer here?
Welcome back. Wait, last time we talked, weren't you in law school?
Yeah, I was.
Now you gotta go to law school to fix computers?
You don't. I was gonna be a lawyer, and then I wasn't.
What happened?
We don't need to get into that here. That's a conversation for the kitchen table at 2 a.m. This is a time for fun stories, reminiscing, or how about just not talking at all?
There are the bears, though.
The what?
You guys haven't lived here in a while, but there are still bears in these mountains. The best way to avoid a run-in with one is to keep talking and make them think that there's a big group of us. Since nobody brought bells or mace, the best way to avoid the three of us getting horribly mauled to death is for Doug to tell us why he dropped out of law school.
Are you serious?
I would never joke about bear safety.
Fine. I had a slight breakdown a couple years into my degree.
What kind of breakdown?
The mental kind. The kind where you have panic attacks in the middle of class, and I stay up until 4 a.m. every night. There was one week where I didn't leave my dorm, not even to eat or go to the bathroom.
You pee in a bunch of jars like Leo from The Aviator?
technically they were jugs.
Sunny D.
Arizona.
Cool.
But you're doing better now, right?
Much. Eventually, I saw this school counselor. She said this sort of thing happens all the time. Kids like me come into law school with this fantasy of being a lawyer based off of movies and books, but once you get there, you realize you're not built for all the stress and conflict that actually comes with the job. I'd be great at tests and theory, but when it came to practice, suddenly my voice would tremble, my hands would shake. I don't know, it was like I spent all this time training to become a star runner, and then on the day of the big meet, I looked down and saw my legs were made of mashed potatoes. Anyway, now I fix computers. So.
You guys were giving me shit about my job.
There's a difference
Between what?
between trying something and failing and never trying anything at all. I assume your job in IT is just temporary. Are you gonna go back to law school?
Nope.
What's your plan then?
I've been trying to figure that out for about 7 years now. I don't know, maybe Rushman hasn't figured out. Maybe there's no point in trying to find some career that gives our lives purpose. As long as you got a roof over your head, you can pay the bills, who cares if you aren't living your dream or saving lives?
I do save lives.
What? How?
I live in Alaska. It gets cold here. People don't have plumbing and heating, they die.
Okay, fair point.
Annabelle, what exactly do you do?
I told you I'm an actor.
Oh yeah, and how much do you make a year doing that?
How much do you make a year?
51,000 after taxes. Answer the question.
I don't have to answer anything. You gonna ask Doug how much he makes?
Doug, how much do you make in a year?
I'm not really sure. I've been too afraid to file my taxes for the last 4 years.
How does that happen?
I was late one year and didn't know what the penalty would be, so I just kind of put it off, and then I put it off again, and it just sort of snowballed from there.
That's a real bummer. But, Annie, you still haven't answered my question.
It varies from year to year. A while back, I got a pretty good commercial job that floated me for a few months. Some months I'm lucky if I get an audition.
And how do you make enough to survive? Does Alonzo support you?
I work part-time as...
Okay.
Okay. Every actor has to have a part-time job when they're first starting out. You didn't unravel some big conspiracy. And my job as a spiritual healer is just as fulfilling as
I'm sorry. Your job is a what? Did you know about this?
I did not.
What exactly does a spiritual healer do? Are you like a shaman or something? They teach you how to commune with Awa at your acting school?
Sorry, Awa?
God from Avatar? Lives in a tree? Seriously, the movie makes $3 billion, gets 5 sequels, you don't know who Awa is?
If you must know, I essentially work as an emotional masseuse for a small company in North Hollywood.
You said that like it explains literally anything.
I run relaxation exercises. I help patients purge unhealthy emotions, practice non-Western therapy.
Non-Western is in not based in real science.
Okay, you know what? Forget it. You won't understand.
Why? Because I'm big dumb plumber man? Because I wasn't in the honors program?
No, because you don't want to understand. You want to make fun of me and my life choices so you'll feel better about yours.
I was joking. It's what friends do.
I have to pee. Doug, can you stand guard?
What? I have to stand guard.
We need to ditch Rushman.
Seriously? I mean, is the guy that bad? Okay, yeah, fine. He's a lot, but what would I even say to him? Go home? We don't want to keep walking with you?
Are you insane? No, you lie. You make an excuse. You have diarrhea. I don't care.
I'm not gonna tell him that.
Okay, fine. I can have diarrhea if that makes you feel better.
Look, I know the guy sucks, but we've already come this far.
Okay, so we go somewhere else. The nature center, Hatchers. This isn't the only hiking trail in town. I cannot spend another 2 hours with that man.
Let me talk to him. Let me see if I can get him to dial it down a notch.
And you really think that'll work?
Maybe. Okay, the thing is, I sort of picked Baldy for a reason.
And that reason being?
I left something at the top.
When?
Long time ago, senior year, I think.
Did you leave like a time capsule or something?
Of sorts, yeah.
Well, what's in it?
I don't know, it's been a long time. I don't remember, Could be photos, letters, Altoid sours, I don't know. Maybe you're in it for all I know.
Really?
It's possible.
We could come back.
When though? You know, you've got the wedding coming up. I'm gonna be, I don't know, who knows the next time both of us are gonna be free and in town.
Okay, fine. You'll talk to him?
I'll talk to him.
Oh, Doug. I'm actually.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're all good.
Cool, thanks.
Just let me know when you're finished.
I will.
You two have fun?
Look, Reed, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah?
I need you to lay off Annie a bit.
Lay off what?
You know, the ogling, the disrespecting her career.
Okay, forgive me for not agreeing with every hippy-dippy LA thing she says.
Sorry, hippy dippy? What year do you think this is? She's not out there in Laurel Canyon smoking dope with Mama Cass.
You know what I mean. And don't act like she wasn't criticizing my lifestyle, too.
Look, I get that, but you're antagonizing her and it's stressing both of us out.
You still got a thing for her, don't you?
That's irrelevant.
That's a yes, if I've ever heard one. By the way, if you think that whole lapdog thing you did with all the girls in high school is gonna work now that you're almost 30,
I'm just being nice.
that's not being nice. That's being a doormat. Might as well go ask her if you can tie her shoes for her.
Okay, as opposed to your tactic of just annoying every woman you've ever met until they, I don't know, give up and fall madly in love with you. Do you know how many women hated you in high school?
Yeah. And do you know how many of those women I had sex with? At least 2, so. You liked me in high school, right?
Yeah.
Let's get going! Hey, Annie, you remember in high school how Doug was in love with you?
I think I remember something about that back in the day, but you know, it's high school. Everyone's in love with everyone for like a week.
Yeah, it's high school. It's funny though, I could have sworn I remember him being madly in love with you the entire 4 years, but we weren't close. That's just what I heard.
Wait, is that true?
More or less.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did.
Oh.
Huh.
What?
It's just funny, you know, I spent so much time agonizing over that moment. You know, my big declaration of love. You know, to be honest, I was kind of scared to ask you to come out today because I'm still so embarrassed about it. And, you don't even remember it happening.
Well, Doug, it's been a long time.
I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I'm not mad that you don't remember. It's just funny because I spent so much time worrying about literally nothing.
I remember that day.
Why would you remember that day?
Because I was there. We had orchestra together, remember? I heard everything from the rhythm section.
You told me an orchestra.
We were only a couple chairs apart. It seemed like a pretty good time.
Yeah, except he must have told you at the beginning of class because I remember when he got shot down, he tried to leave and he tripped over the cellos.
No, that doesn't sound that bad.
When I fell, my nose started bleeding, kind of everywhere. By the time I realized it was happening, I'd sort of contaminated the whole region. Mr. Harrington actually had to order new sheet music for about half the class.
Wait, how do I not remember this?
I have no idea. It's certainly gonna haunt me to my grave, but you know, here we are.
Are you seeing anyone now?
No, you could call me a regular old Eric. I'm Solo. He's an actor. He played Han Solo in the new.
You think maybe
Star Wars.
jokes like that are the reason you're single?
You know, they certainly don't help. Anyway, what about you? Are you seeing any? I mean, how long have you and Alonzo been?
Oh my God, enough. I'm not stupid, okay? I know you made up Annie's boyfriend so I wouldn't come on to her. You know, if you're gonna make up an elaborate ruse, at least be a convincing actor.
Well, since you asked, I was in a relationship with someone off and on for a couple of years, but you know, that ended a while ago. It was for the best, really. It wasn't a particularly healthy relationship.
DJ?
His name was Thomas.
No, I'm asking, was he a DJ?
What makes you think he was?
I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of DJs nowadays. Am I wrong?
He wasn't just a DJ, but yeah.
I knew it.
What was so unhealthy about it?
A lot of things. We're both really intense people, and I don't think our personalities always meshed the best.
You know, our schedules were super different. He traveled a lot.
DJing?
Who ended it, you or him?
Well, that depends on who you ask.
Annie, how could you break that poor DJ's heart?
Who do you think ended it?
I guess he could make a breakup song about it.
He put me in a very difficult position.
Although he's not really a musician, he's a DJ.
What position
I guess
was
he
it?
could play somebody else.
Thank you.
What position did he put you into?
He wanted me to move to Omaha.
What's in Omaha?
He's from there. Some friend of his opened up a nightclub out there. I wanted to book him full time. The pay was decent, and he wanted to take the money and buy us a house.
What'd you say?
I said my life was in LA and I had no interest in moving to Nebraska.
I'm curious, was the deal breaker Omaha or was it him?
I think both. I don't know, something about the idea of the two of us having matching towels and a lawn just felt like giving up to me. Plus, Nebraska kind of
Sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think I'm cut out for the whole marriage thing.
I don't know. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I still want to get married.
That doesn't sound boring to you? Like having to be with the same person for forever, never getting to meet anyone new.
No, it sounds great, actually. I mean, I never have kids because...
It's morally irresponsible for our generation to reproduce.
Well, that and I don't have health insurance. But I don't know. Settling down, falling into a routine, you know, not having to spend every free weekend trying to win the affection of some stranger you don't even know if you like yet. Sounds like a relief.
See, I love meeting new people. Everyone's always on their best behavior when you first meet them. Everyone tries harder to be interesting.
Yeah, but what if you're not interesting?
I don't buy that. But how'd you meet your last girlfriend?
We met on a campaign together.
Which campaign?
Presidential campaign.
Which president?
Hillary. And before you even start, I'm just gonna make a declaration. Anyone even mentions politics on this hike, and I get to hit them with this big stick I found.
I second that.
Deal?
Just one thing.
Rushman.
No, not that. You haven't had sex for 7 years?
I mean, we were dating past New Year's, and we're like 6.5, but yeah.
My God.
That's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, it is. And I am, but there's no point in dwelling, so.
No, you know what? Let's dwell. I think this requires dwelling. So you meet this woman trying to elect an absolute. You date for a few months, you break up, and then nothing for 6 years. I need a minute.
Look, it's hard dating in the big city. I'm out there competing with all these cool artsy guys with their fancy tattoos. Tech bros who are all ripped and make 10 times my salary. When you're an ordinary guy, you just kind of get lost in the shuffle.
But nothing for 6 years.
I wasn't a total shut-in. I made an effort. I did the apps. I even had some promising encounters, but then world shut down for a while. I got comfortable being alone. By the time I realized how long it had been, I didn't really know how to start up again. I don't know. How do you bring up something like that on the first date?
You get on your hands and knees and you say, please, ma'am, I'm begging you. I haven't had sex in 6 years. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Annie, what are we doing hiking? We have to get this poor boy laid.
At 11 a.m.?
It's mountain time, baby. Maybe you and Doug
If you are going to say what I think you're about to say.
Big stick.
Exactly.
Got it.
What about you, Rushman? You got a few ex-wives already?
No, never married. Came close once, but
For what?
you know, women, one day they want to be with you every second, next they can't stand the sight of you.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Hey, Doug, you smell that? Yeah, it smells like Rushman's full of shit.
What makes you so sure I did something?
Because I'm an actor and I know how to read people. And I know you well enough to know that any detail that doesn't make you look good is a detail you are going to omit. So, what'd you do?
I told you, I didn't do anything. She knew who I was when we started dating. Then at some point she wanted me to change everything about myself. She wanted me to stop drinking so much, start eating better, exercising, all that bullshit. Even though this was who she fell in love with. One day she decided it wasn't good enough. Suddenly she wants the upgrade. Read 2.0. Anyway, she moved to Tacoma and that was that.
So why not change? Like, why not try and better yourself?
Because that's not who I am. I like who I am. If she wanted to marry that guy the whole time, she should have told me up front or found somebody else.
Do you regret not making it work?
Hell no. Can't live in the past. Besides, what am I gonna do? Move to Tacoma? The Oakland of Washington? My life is here. I'm not gonna pack up everything I've made to chase some girl.
What was her name?
Gwen. Why'd you have to bring her up?
Had a nightmare, all my teeth fell out. And I could accept your love with no protest. But still not sure what that dream was about. Just know I'm sleeping, but not getting any rest. Every morning starts to feel the
You know, I've heard the term sore subject before, but I feel bad.
Don't. All you did was ask questions. You didn't know the guy was gonna freak out on you.
No, I meant I feel bad for not remembering how you felt about me.
It's water under the bridge.
Was I at least polite when I, shut you down?
Very.
It's hard being a teenage girl. Everyone starts paying you all this special attention. You don't know who to trust or not.
Boys start disappointing you left and right. Friends start revealing themselves to you. Not literally.
Revealing their intentions. Although now the other way too. Great, that I remember. All this to say,
If I forgot, it's probably because I just mentally filed you with the rest of them.
I don't know, who's to say I was any different, you know? Just because I thought I was in love with you doesn't mean my intentions were any more noble. Looking back on how I acted with girls I liked in high school, I don't know, you could blame it all on teenage hormones, but let's just say I revealed myself to plenty of women too. What?
Oh, nothing. I was just hoping someone would walk by and hear that out of context.
I don't believe it.
Ben!
I thought I recognized your voices.
Oh my God, it's so good to see
You
you.
too. What is this, a reunion? What are you guys doing back?
oh, my sister's getting married.
Oh, I heard that's so exciting. What about you?
It's just family stuff, you know.
Oh, gosh, is everyone okay?
Oh yeah, everyone's fine. It's all, did I just see you had another baby?
Rose, yeah, 2 months ago.
Mazel.
Yeah, her grandparents are with us for the week, so I thought I'd sneak off for a quick run. I haven't worked out in so long, I must look terrible.
How many kids do you two have by now?
Rose makes 5.
Oh,
Wow.
you Mormons really do know how to multiply, huh?
We don't really use that term anymore, but yeah.
What term do you prefer?
Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way. But...
No, it doesn't, but they want us to say it, so. Are you two?
Oh, no.
I saw on Facebook Annie was back in town the same time as me, so I asked if she wanted to hike Baldy, and here we are.
No, apparently Doug buried a time capsule up here, so.
Really? When did you do that?
So, what's been going on in your life? Besides, starting your own small army, that is.
Yeah, I'm in the framing business.
You plant drugs on people?
Exactly. No, I make and sell frames, for photographs, memorabilia, you name it.
How did that happen?
When I got back from my mission, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And out of boredom, I just started doing some amateur woodworking in my parents' garage. Eventually got pretty good at it, and finally Michelle told me I should start to sell some of them online. So now I do it full time.
That's amazing. And you just do it all from your garage?
Yeah, I've toyed with getting an actual storefront, but this way I can work from home, spend more time with my family.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. It sounds perfect.
I can't complain. I don't think you two live here, but if you go to akfamilyframes.com, I can give you a discount.
Oh, yeah.
You should call your place the Hangman.
Hey, Reed.
Because you hang pictures. You'd have a slogan like, "Come see the Hangman."
I'm pretty locked into the name we have.
I think the last time we saw each other, we were in your parents' den, eating Pringles and playing Wii tennis, and now look at you. You're like a real adult.
We're all adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
You seem very happy.
I am. I better go, but it was great to see you both.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
It's not a competition, but if we had to rank who's doing the best out of the 4 of us, he'd definitely win.
No question.
You don't think so?
It's an act. $50 says that when that guy goes home, he's as miserable as the rest of us, maybe even more.
I don't know. I've spent a lot of time watching people who hate themselves pretend to be happy, and I've never seen anyone pull it off that well.
I don't trust him.
Who, Mormons? I mean, members of the Church of Jesus Christ are like, I'm just gonna keep calling them Mormons. I don't have that kind of time.
I don't trust anyone who doesn't drink, swear, or have premarital sex. How could somebody be so happy if they abstain from all three of my favorite activities?
I know you never really liked the guy, but you gotta give him some credit. He's got his own business, he's in shape, he looks better than he did in high school. He has a family. At least on paper, he's wiping the floor with us.
He probably has super clean floors, too.
I bet he does.
Who do you think is doing best out of the three of us?
I'm not answering that.
Why not?
Because it's callous and insensitive, not to mention subjective.
In your opinion, then, which of us has the best life?
By what metric?
All. Best overall score. If this were a reunion, who would leave thinking they'd won?
I know who'd be thinking they won. That's not the same as actually winning.
So you do have an opinion.
Of course I have an opinion. Doesn't mean I'm going to say it out loud.
Spoken like a real number two.
Wait, does that make me number 3?
And what, pray tell, makes you number 1?
Let's see. I am the only one out of us with a job they actually like. I have a bitchin' truck. I have a house, assuming the two of you are still living in tiny apartments, being city folk and all. I have nothing holding me down. And I have the better part of my hair, which, let's be honest, is all you really need.
Okay, objection. There's a clear winner here, and it's not you or me.
Annie? All right, Harvey Birdman, present your case. And it can't just be that you want to have sex with her.
Well, for starters, she's following her dream. As long as I've known Annie, she's wanted to be an actor, and unlike so many others, she's actually taken the risk and moved across the country to try to make it happen.
Has it happened, though? Annie, I wish all the best for you and your career. Let's not call carrots cabbages here. You even said you had to get a second job.
I'm sorry, I know I should be offended, but carrots, cabbages?
Yeah, it's a saying.
I've never heard it.
My dad said it all the time. You guys haven't heard that?
Never. And I'll concede, my career is not what I'd hoped it would be by now, but that doesn't mean I'm not an actor. Plenty of actors don't get their big break until their 40s.
And when you do, I will personally call and apologize. But while you're paying your bills being a spiritual healer, that's your job, and acting is a fun hobby you do sometimes.
God, you and my dad sure would get along.
Maybe. What does he drive?
Hey, at least she has a passion, What gets you out of bed in the morning?
I've never had any problem getting out of bed in the morning.
You really think you're happy, don't you?
Doug, why did you so easily accept being number 3?
I mean, like Annie said, it's subjective. It'd be like arguing what color tastes best.
That's a stupid analogy. We all know purple would taste best. But still, you're not gonna defend yourself at all?
Look, I think if this were a real reunion, I'd do just fine. I haven't been to prison, I still have a job, I haven't gone through some horrible divorce or lost all my money on NFTs. Judged against the broader sample size, I'm not a complete disaster, but out of us 3?
I think you're selling yourself short, Doug. If a dry spell is the worst part of your life, you're doing just fine.
I'm not trying to wallow in self-pity or anything. While I wouldn't want Rushman's life per se, there's a charming simplicity to it.
Hey.
You seem comfortable, I mean. You get to live the American dream. You're a landowner. And Annie, you honestly seem like you're crushing it. Even if you haven't gotten the roles yet, you still look like a movie star. You still have that shine you always did, like you're tapped into some frequency the rest of us aren't. You didn't stick around in a state that's a frigid icebox 7 months out of the year. You live by the beach.
Technically, I live in Burbank.
Even your day job sounds fulfilling.
Still not sure that counts as an actual job, but...
I appreciate your vote, Doug, but I can assure you my life is not as wonderful as you think it is. You're not the only one to have had a mental breakdown here.
Really? When did this happen? Oh, also, we're breakdown buds. Yeah. When did this happen?
That depends. Do you count from when you started acting crazy or when you finally realized you'd been acting crazy?
I guess the latter?
In that case, about a year ago? I don't know what started it. I know the breakup didn't help, but do you know how I had a lot of energy, like just generally?
Yeah.
Well, the downside of being a naturally energetic person is that it takes people a while to realize when you're having a manic episode.
What happened?
You know when you've done too much coke and every idea you have seems like the best idea you've ever had? Well, imagine that, but all the time, and your ideas just keep getting worse and worse. Like, I would run until I collapsed. I made incoherent vlogs every day. I purchased $600 worth of yoga pants with the plan of selling it on the street for profit, which I did not. I had uncontrollable laughing fits. I read the first chapter of, I don't know, like 20 novels. I wrote 20 pages of my own novel. And that's not to mention a handful of original songs that it turns out I just stole from Neil Diamond.
How'd you snap out
Which
of it?
Neil Diamond songs?
Turns out Lisa had been watching every insane thing I posted and eventually got concerned enough to fly down and tell me I needed help. Of course, I didn't want to hear that, so I was pretty awful to her. 2 weeks later, I crashed hard. 5 days in the psych ward and one $1,400 ambulance ride later, and I finally started to level out.
Do they put you on anything?
Couple mood stabilizers, Paxil. It was weird at first, like the new normal the pills were giving me felt so much lower than the normal I was used to.
How do you feel now?
I don't know. I think the scariest part is that I can't even trust my own brain. Like if I get too happy, I worry that I'm gonna spiral all over again.
I'm so sorry, Annie. But you just got bumped to number 3. Ah! Mood stabilizers.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, God!
You two done?
You got dirt in my mouth.
Oh, you poor baby.
You know, you could have really hurt me.
For that to be true, you'd have to have the capacity to feel pain.
Come on, guys. We're almost halfway there. Can't you just apologize and move on?
I
Why would
refuse to apologize
She
to that
tackled
ogre.
me. Ogre? Okay, first off, everybody loves Shrek. Everybody.
I guess we're just sitting here then. Just sitting on the ground. Sitting on the wet ground.
Doug, you should just go. Like, this was your idea. It's your time capsule.
Come on, don't be ridiculous.
We will get together some other time.
Please, just don't go anywhere, okay?
Oh my God, are you okay?
I'm alright. I just slipped is all.
On what?
Doesn't matter. I'm okay.
Your leg is shaking. Is that
I
normal?
said I'm fine. Alright? I think we're all just a little tense is all. You know, no one's at fault. Okay, no one's completely at fault. I don't know, maybe all we need to do is just take a moment, you know, calm down, breathe. Annie, you must know some breathing exercises from your work.
I think we all know how to breathe, Doug.
Yeah, I know some exercises.
So, what do we do?
Everyone sit in a circle. Now, close your eyes.
Rushman, close your eyes.
Why?
Because I said so.
Now I want everyone to breathe in through their nose for 5 seconds, hold it for another 5 seconds, then exhale for 10 seconds. All right. Breathe in. And out.
You really get paid for this.
We're breathing, not talking, and in. And out. Now open your eyes.
That it?
Not quite. Sit in front of Doug.
You gonna make us hold hands too? I've never perceived Doug as a threat.
So cold.
Now you're both going to look at each other for 30 seconds without breaking eye contact. Don't say anything. Don't even make a face. Try to be as blank as possible. Really just look at each other. "30 seconds, starting now." No jokes. Just look at him. Completely blank. Think about what you see. And time. What did you notice?
You have really nice pores.
Okay, that's not the point.
What are pores?
How did you feel, though?
I don't know. The same. Calmer, I guess.
I did feel a little more relaxed, yeah.
Perfect. Now, Doug, you and I will do it.
And go. Time.
Time. What'd you see?
I saw you.
Okay, now I know you've seen Avatar because
All
that's
right,
the whole
Rushman,
thing.
you're up.
"30 seconds, starting now." And time.
You okay? And I'm impressed. That whole time I was just waiting for you to stick out your tongue or fart or something.
Yeah, I'd thought about it, but the tank was pretty empty and I didn't want to sharp myself 2 miles up a mountain.
You too good to keep going?
Sorry I was such a dick.
Sorry I tackled you.
No, it's a good hit.
All right. Let's finish this son of a bitch.
Where's your shovel?
A what?
For digging up the time capsule?
I didn't bring one.
What's your plan? To use your hands? Might take a while.
There is no time capsule. I made it up.
I'm confused.
You wanted to leave and I couldn't tell you why I wanted to stay.
Oh God, you're not gonna murder us, are you?
No,
Because it'd be really hard to bury us without a shovel.
What exactly do you have planned for us?
nothing. I just really wanted to make it to the top and I didn't want to do it alone.
Wait, why would you lie about something like that for no reason? That's not okay, Doug.
Doug, tell us what the hell's going on.
All right, so 6 months ago, I get this weird numbness in my right leg. First, I think it's just bad circulation. I don't know, maybe I'm sitting on it wrong. Either way, I just don't think about it and hoped it would go away. And a bit later, I'm walking down the stairs at work and I collapsed.
Did you pass out?
Nope, I was fully conscious for all of it, all 22 steps. My legs just gave out right underneath me.
You were okay, right?
I thought I was, but my boss wouldn't let me go home until I went to the hospital, got myself checked out.
What'd they say?
They think I have this weird form of adult onset muscular dystrophy. I don't know, there's a Latin word for it. I wrote it down somewhere.
What exactly does that mean?
The way I understand it, it's like my body is a pirate ship,
Cool.
and slowly all of my muscles are committing mutiny.
Less cool.
I don't know, I'm on various experimental treatments and medications, but every doctor I've talked to thinks I won't be able to walk without crutches in a year, and that I'll be wheelchair bound in about 3.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was pretty much my reaction too.
So you wanted to climb a mountain. Why?
Because, I don't know, for the moment I still can.
Do you need me to carry you, bro? I can do it. I'm real strong. It's not gonna be weird at all.
I appreciate the offer, Rushman. That's very sweet, but I'm okay.
That's why you came back home to climb Baldy one last time?
No, I'm back home because my entire way of life is going to completely change in the next few months, and I don't know, my family and I need to start preparing for it. This is just a bonus, final lap, curtain call, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, now you guys know my big secret.
I thought your big secret was that you hadn't had sex in 6 years.
Okay, now you know both of my big secrets.
How can you be so calm about this?
I don't know, it's not like I'm dying.
Yeah, but this is big. This is like, things are gonna be really hard for you.
Oh. Thanks. All right, it's raining. We should keep walking.
Why are you crying? Doug's the one who's sick.
Because it's sad. Because it just makes me think about how short life is and how it could end at any moment.
Okay, again, not dying.
Yeah, but you could. We all could at any moment. Like right now, an eagle could swoop from the sky and knock you off of this mountain.
I don't think that's gonna happen, Annie.
People get killed by birds all the time.
They do?
I read about it.
Where?
Books! My point is that life is precious and fleeting. We should all be out there just making the most of it, really living, you know? Instead, we're just treading water, and sooner or later, we're all just gonna get tired and drown.
Well, I certainly feel better.
I'm not going to Lisa's wedding. I was disinvited, which I didn't think was really a word, but I looked it up, and it actually is, and I am
Who disinvited you?
the bride.
You bang the groom?
Really?
What? If this was Family Feud and the question on the board was reasons I'm not invited to my sister's wedding, I banged the groom would be #1 with a bullet.
Jesus Christ.
Survey says?
Survey says get fucked. No, I did not sleep with my sister's fiance.
What did happen then?
It started at the rehearsal dinner.
I want to hear about this, but can we walk and talk? It's almost noon. The sun's gonna set in about 12 hours. Walk and talk, people. Think the West Wing. You were saying?
Apparently there was an incident at the rehearsal dinner.
Too much champagne?
It's tough to say, given I blacked out before they even brought out the salads.
So you could have banged the groom.
It wasn't that kind of a blackout. It was more of a yelling at my sister and crying in the parking lot kind of a blackout.
Did you apologize?
Incessantly. My mom thinks that Lisa's overreacting and she'll change her mind come the big day, but I'm not so sure. I know Lisa loves me, but I think any patience or affection she had for me had been waning for some time, and the other night just pushed it over the edge. To be honest, I wish I would have slept with her fiance, because then at least I'd know what to be sorry for, how to fix it. Lisa's problem seems to be with the very nature of who I am. She thinks I am selfish, destructive, and a black hole from which no joy can escape. My only sister doesn't even like me anymore. What do I do with that?
Maybe she has a point.
What?
I said maybe she has a point.
Dude,
Okay, forgive me for not being 100% sympathetic to somebody who just found out their friend has a life-changing illness and took all of 10 seconds to make it about themselves.
That's rich, coming from someone who can't go a minute without making some idiotic comment. Jesus, you're like a 6-year-old at Thanksgiving acting out because the adults aren't paying attention to him.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the one who needs attention. That's why I became a plumber. For the applause.
guys, it's the new millennium. We're all narcissists here.
You know, this screaming match that you got him with your sister, am I wrong in assuming it had something to do with her being front and center and not you?
I don't remember.
No. But somebody filled you in. Gave you the play-by-play. I blacked out enough to know how it goes. Am I wrong?
God, you were the most spiteful man I've ever met.
I'm not being spiteful. I'm just not going to invite myself to your pity party when it sounds like you're the one who was in the wrong.
Do you think I don't know I was in the wrong? Of course I know that. It has been gnawing at me ever since it happened. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be the crazy girl who has manic episodes and causes scenes and can't sit still for 5 minutes, but I don't know how else to be. Look, what is it that you hate so much about me?
I don't hate you, Annie. I just see through you. That's all.
Oh yeah? What do you see?
For starters, I see somebody who likes to act nice and above it all, but is really as petty and mean as the rest of us. Or do you think I didn't hear you and Doug earlier talking about wanting to ditch me so you could sneak off and drink lattes and watch Frasier, whatever the hell else you West Coast elitists do for fun?
You know you're also on the West Coast.
Alaska doesn't count.
You heard that.
Yeah, I did. Don't bother making some excuse, Doug. It's not kindergarten. We don't all have to like each other.
You're right, we don't. So let's finally be honest with each other.
I think that's a great idea.
What really happened with Gwen, Reed?
I told you what happened.
No, you didn't.
You told us some bullshit story carefully crafted to make you look like the good guy when I know that's not the case.
You're so sure about that.
Just like I'm 100% sure you're the reason she left. To be honest, I'm surprised you could keep a woman around for that long in the first place.
You know, I think I just figured out why you're so miserable all the time, Annie.
Enlighten me.
Because a while ago, you figured out that you are a cliche. Sure, in the halls of Chugiak High, you were interesting and original. But then you moved to a place where you are a dime a dozen. And slowly but surely, you sacrificed everything unique about yourself so that you could fit in with the people that you were trying to impress. You have let LA turn you into some astrology reading, kombucha drinking shell of a human being. And now, the only interesting thing left about you is that you used to live here.
Annie, you okay?
Hey, yeah, I'm fine. Good to see you.
Where are the others?
Oh, they're...
What's wrong?
How do you do it? Be happy.
You're not?
I don't know anymore. Like, there are times when I think I am, and then something just hits me and I can barely keep it together. You know, I've tried everything. I've read books, I've seen shrinks, gurus, meditate, I eat well, and then I see guys like you and it just seems to come so easily.
It's not easy, trust me.
You have me fooled.
I am not always happy. My wife can attest to that.
Well, is it like a God thing? Because I've tried that and
You know, given how lost you seem, I should probably tell you that it is, but I don't think that's a secret to happiness. I mean, I know plenty of people who've devoted their lives to the church and they're miserable.
Was it kids? Like, they seem to make you happy.
I mean, they're my whole world. But I don't know if kids are the answer for everyone. What I do know is that when I'm worried about other people, I have less time to worry about myself. When was the last time you were happy?
When I lived here, I think.
I really do need to get back to Rose, but if you ever need to talk, just reach out, all right?
What the hell's the matter with you?
She started it.
You're almost 30. I don't care who started it. Do you get some pleasure out of making people dislike you?
She has hated me since middle school.
And whose fault is that? What is it about your brain that just makes you incapable of being not an asshole? Why do you always have to...
Because it's easier, okay? You don't get it. People like you. Sure, you're a bit of a dweeb, but people enjoy having you around. You're pleasant. I don't have that.
You can make an attempt.
And then what? Either way, I end up on my own. At least this way, I'm in control. It's easier.
Look, take it from someone who spent most of their adult life alone. Don't. You might think you're better off, but trust me, one day you're gonna wake up and realize that's it. You missed your shot. You don't have to be like this.
If you've come to give some half-assed apology that Doug's forced you to say,
I
save
have
it.
a daughter. Her name is Zoe. She's 6. She lives in Tacoma with her mom. Nobody here knows about her. My friends at work think that a third of my paycheck every month goes to bingo and strippers.
There's stripper bingo here?
2 separate things. It's not a bad business idea, though. Maybe I should write that down. When I first met Gwen, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. She was funny, cool, she's a badass. She just got me. And then she got pregnant and everything changed. Suddenly everything that she liked about me became a fault, and everything I liked about her, her attitude, her sense of adventure, gone. But I still loved her. And this kid was on the way, so quit drinking so much. I budgeted, even wore a button up to the doctor's appointments. We had this tweed couch with a pull-out bed. Got it for free off Craigslist, and it wasn't the best couch, but it wasn't the worst. One day she comes home and she says we have to get rid of it, buy a new one. I ask why, and she says it makes us look poor. And that it's not safe, like the baby's gonna cut itself on the cushions or something. Anyway, we get in a big fight about it, and I unload everything that's been eating at me since she got pregnant. And she kicks me out. Says I need to grow up and apologize if I want to come back.
I'm assuming you didn't.
I wanted to. I remember how my dad was. Like, he would come home every day and you could see a little part of him die when he walked in the front door. As much as he tried, he didn't love us. Only time he was ever happy was when he was hiding out in the garage or out back, and I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to get bitter and resent my kids and my wife. I was happy with Gwen and my friends. I didn't want any of that to change. And that's when I met Suzanne.
Who's Suzanne?
No one. Literally no one. Met her that night at the bar. Didn't get her last name or her number. Haven't seen her since. But Gwen saw her. Thinking back, I think I wanted Gwen to see her. She caught the two of us fooling around in the back of my truck, and any hope of Gwen ever forgiving me went right out the window.
So she dumps you and skips town. What is keeping you from being in Zoe's life?
For starters, her mom. Gwen's let me see Zoe all of 4 times. I write her letters, but... What?
It's just interesting. Your whole persona is all about not caring what anyone thinks, but when it means letting yourself off the hook for raising a child, suddenly you respect boundaries?
You're acting like I'm some deadbeat dad. I've missed a child support payment in 6 years.
You pay the legally required child support. Do you need help building the shelf? The shelf for your Father of the Year awards. I'm assuming you have several by now.
Think I'm happy she took Zoe away?
I think you like getting to play the victim rather than the father because it asks nothing of you.
You have no idea what I would do to be a part of my kid's life.
And yet you're here.
What would you suggest I do? Move to a whole other state? Sue for partial custody? Because that goes so well for fathers. Especially fathers with 2 DUIs on their record.
And whose fault are those?
Postmates didn't come to Alaska until very recently. Look, I know that I messed up. I was 22 when Gwen got pregnant. Think I don't wish that I could go back and do things differently? If I thought that I could show up on Gwen's front porch with flowers and a toy for Zoe and have a family again, I would do it in a heartbeat. Maybe if I did it 5 years ago, it would have worked. But not now. It's too late. It's too late.
Come on, Reed. We're almost there.
Hey, we're almost there. You hungry? You want a little bar? Rushman, you wouldn't happen to have any of those beers, would... Thanks.
Oh,
Christ.
see, I forgot you tackled me.
Totally tackled you.
You made it, guys.
Oh, hey, look. It's Chugiak High.
Oh, yeah. God, it's crazy how much of our old lives used to be contained to that one dot.
And now it's...
World got bigger. I think I liked it better before.
I can hide from the sun if I close my eyes.
Guys, do you think we blew it? I mean, yeah, I know we could argue forever about who blew it the most, but based off today, I could make a case for every one of us being an abject failure.
No way.
Really? You think we all lived up to our full potential?
Probably not, but it all depends on how you look at it, right?
I don't know, I'm kind of struggling to find any vantage point from which the last 10 years of my life haven't been a total waste.
Doug, earlier you told us you're a few years away from being stuck in a wheelchair. Today you climbed a mountain. That's badass.
Yeah, it kind of is.
And Annie, as much as your life is not what I would want, you always did exactly what you wanted to do, and you never compromised for anybody. And I know it feels like your whole family hates you right now, but I know at least one guy would probably jump into traffic for you, so.
What about you?
I think we have already established that I have a very cool truck. We all did fine. We're all gonna be fine.
Keep my shit together 2 hours at a time. When you're worthless, self-harm is a victimless crime. The moon hangs lonely in the sky tonight. Fading out, trying to burn so bright. It's alright.
So when do you fly back?
I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure I'm gonna go back.
Really? What happened to LA's great? I love it there.
Yeah, I think I hate it there. Nah, I shouldn't say that. LA's fine. You can get tacos in front of a gas station at 2 a.m. Millions of people live there for a reason. I don't think LA is the problem. I don't think it's where I should be right now.
What about your acting career?
What acting career?
I hope you're not giving up because of what Rushman said.
Oh, please, no. I've been thinking about what used to make me happy, and I think I lost that over the years, searching for something that just doesn't really exist. I've become unmoored.
Unmoored? Like a boat?
Like a boat. Point is, think it's finally time for me to leave the world of make-believe. Focus on what's real.
And you think you'll find something real here?
Maybe. Maybe I'll get bored and cold in 2 weeks and go running back to California. Either way, I think it's time for a change.
So, what are y'all doing after this?
Sorry, one sec.
I know what Anning's gonna say, but what about you? You got a bunch of doctor's appointments, or are you feeling healthy enough to tie one on?
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably get home.
Not now. What about tonight? Go to Coots, do karaoke.
Maybe next time.
Come on, I could be your wingman. You could solve your 6-year problem. You know, ladies love a guy with a limp.
I'll think about it.
All right.
Hey, listen, I was thinking, even though I'm gonna be here for a while, my old lease is still good until January.
And?
So I'm gonna have an empty apartment in Seattle for a while. Tacoma's only about an hour away.
Uh-huh.
Just a thought.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but thanks for inviting me out. It's real good seeing you.
And for what it's worth, I don't think it's ever too late.
Annabelle, I'm out of here. Good seeing you.
What was the message?
It was my mom. Because of what happened, now every time I don't answer the phone right away, they assume I've run off with a fifth of vodka and a bunch of pills.
I guess that's understandable. Any word on the wedding?
No.
What if we just go? You know, crash it like Owen and Vince, you know? Be a bigger scene to kick you out than to just let you stay.
Seems like a pretty big risk to take.
At this point, I'm looking forward to taking a few more risks. Besides, I've never been to a wedding.
You've never been to a wedding? Christ, you have led a sheltered life.
Let's do it, you know? It's your only sister's wedding. Something like that only happens 2-3 times in a lifetime.
Oh,
I could bring my crutches, you know? No one's gonna kick out a guy in crutches.
do you have a suit?
Not yet, but I could get one.
We could go to the mall. Split a pretzel.
It's a date.
You'd still want to go on a date with me, even now, knowing everything.
Yeah.
All right, well, I better go back to my parents, wash the mountain off. Meet at the food court?
You're on.
Hey, Doug. Are you scared about everything that's gonna happen next?
Terrified.
Flying lane for the night skies, nowhere to be found. Ameliorate my current state of mind with whatever
Ouch.